So, for example, in this front area, we've divided the rubble into 8 different squares.
Right.
So we can label one tray from square 1, another tray from square 2, all the way up to 8 here in the front.
Gosh.
And although a mosaic may fall off the wall straight downwards and only appear in one square,
Yeah.
if parts of the little pieces scatter left and right into squares 1 and 3, then as we find them, say, well, there should be no mosaic here, but it tells us that it disintegrated much more.
Right.
Like on the lectern, which had 6 mosaic panels,
Yep.
we're trying to define different areas around the lectern so we can say this is most likely the first panel, this is most likely the second, most likely the third. But that doesn't mean that we won't find bits of the lectern over where you're stood now, as it fell and rolled and moved about. And then in the end room, there's no mosaics in the end room, but it did have one of the finest windows in St Mark's. So when we finish at the front here, we're going to be moving to under the window, and you can see some blue on the surface already, if your eyes are used to staring at light blue and black, and those will be parts of that window here, which is visible next to the small lectern.
Yeah.
The large lectern is out and safely stored.
I've seen that, yes. I'm really pleased about that.
And then when we've done that, we'll go into there, and our idea is that we'll move from the altar away, we'll clean outwards.
Okay.
Because if we clean the floors, which are very fantastic, we then tread on them with grit, and that's the last thing we want to do. So we'll start at the far end and working out. It's like when you clean the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
You don't wet the bit by the doorway.
No, exactly.
Or by your drying materials, or when you paint a floor, you start at one end and work out. So that's what we'll do. But we'll finish with this, then move into here, and then do the nave. Then look for the mosaics on the north side of the nave, and then the mosaics on the south side. And I'm expecting to have at least 20,000 pieces of mosaic off the biggest panel, which is Jesus as shepherd in the very pastoral scene.
Beautiful.
Because a lot of the photographs are taken with flash, so the gold just shines as a single panel and
it's not.
Or what looks like gold. And then when we've done those and they've cleared so we can be safe in the font area, we'll sort out the font and reveal the mint and tiled base of about a 6-foot diameter around it. But the builders here are going to cover that font with a shelter as they remove the dangerous stuff above, so that nothing falls down and damages it any further.
Yeah, so it was quite significant the day after the fire that we could look through the west doors. You've got the spire standing, you've got the font, and you've got the eagle. So you've got the word, the sacrament, and the mission to the area.
Not just the eagle, but the plate that held the Bible on the back of the wings, that has become detached, but we have it as well because we're collecting everything.
Brilliant.
We're not collecting plain render and plaster off the walls, but we are collecting everything that has a shape or has been carved or has a form. We're not collecting the very burnt Christmas tree, of which this is the base.
What a shame. What a shame.
It has little architectural merit compared to the rest of the church. And whoever's paying for the conservation, that has very minimal value.
Yeah, we've claimed for that on the insurance.
I wouldn't say no.
So as you see, this is our first chap Dylan was watching as they were taking some of the bigger stuff out, so make sure they didn't take anything else. But this is our 3 days last week. This is our 8th day, and we started over there. So by middle of next week, we should have finished all of this. And as you see, we're sieving everything there to get all the bits of the mosaic.
Yeah.
As you can appreciate, the this one, which is mostly collapsed, does actually give large pieces because it's made of large pieces.
Right.
Here, for example, is a large part of the script on one of the scrolls, and here is part of a leaf from the floral arrangement through it, whereas our other mosaic, of which there are very few photographs, has more small detached pieces of blue glass pink glass, yellow glass, white glass, more yellow glass, red glass, and gold coloured glass.
Amazing. Gosh. Wow. It's really moving to see all of this. It's blooming cold though, isn't it?
That's what these keep our knees warm. And these coveralls are actually a bit more warming than
Are they?
you'd think. But we can see through the soil that the bottom layer is slate and roof timbers. So
Okay.
the roof has come down. Then we get a layer of mostly mosaics in this area, and then the timbers, the large bits of masonry have come down afterwards.
Right.
And we suspect that is caused by the mosaics, for example, melting in the heat and falling off,
Yeah.
whereas the effect of pouring cold water on hot carved stonework may have actually cracked a lot of it, and so it's come off that way.
Right.
And sometimes shattering into pieces, so you just can't tell what something was.
Mm.
If it's got a carving, we can work out what it is. But if all the surface is broken off, then we're never going to
Yeah.
know what it is. And a lot of this wouldn't be suitable for reuse if it was restored. You'd really have to copy rather than
Okay.
rather than try and bolt one small piece back onto there. It's just going to break again.
Yeah.
So it might be
yeah.
more practical in the long run if it is replaced, to use a brand new piece of stone, but copying the shape and the designs from the pieces we're collecting.
Yeah. Okay.
There's all sorts of things you could do with the pieces if you're not going to use them. Have a display, have a memorial to the fire somewhere within the church.
Yeah.
You know, of some of the nicer bits.
Have a new font made out of them.
Have a new font made.
As in, you know, the bowl part, maybe. I don't know. I've just, for the last 10 months, I've just been imagining possibilities and, yeah.
Well, a couple of things we've noticed. The paintings almost still exist behind the altar.
I know.
You can see the Christ in the middle. Seems to be images of saints still
Yeah.
surviving. It's burnt off, but you can still see the background.
Yeah.
So that might be the rough sketch by the artist before the paint went on.
Right.
In that, on the mosaic panels on the north side, you see the two black panels?
Yeah.
They've both got drawings on them. And those, I think, are the chalk
Oh,
sketches
that's what it is.
prior to the images going on. That's what I suspect it is. So we photographed those, and it'd be interesting to compare those with the any photographs of the mosaics that do exist. The back panels have gone off these, the surfaces are burnt away, but those two survive, and if
really
there's one from the middle
interesting.
one, it'd be nice to find that as well.
Yeah. Really interesting.